The dropper seat post is a seat post that can be raised and lowered all at the push of a lever or a button on your handlebars. They've definitely revolutionized the way that we ride, and it's going to enable you to tackle a variety of different off-road situations without getting off of your bike and adjusting your seat post height. But do you need one? And what do you use them for? Well, today we're going to take a look. Right, first up, let's take a look at the way that a dropper seat post is going to be activated. Well, there's quite a lot of different options here. First up, you can have your cable operated versions. Now you can also get hydraulic operated versions, and the most expensive one is going to be an electronic version. Lots of different price points, but one thing they will share similarly across all models is that activation is going to be done by a lever or a switch or maybe a button on the handlebars. Electronic is the most advanced and provides the cleanest frame. Well, because there are no cables. All you need to do is simply put a battery in it, which you recharge and pop in and out of your seat post as needed. However, these do come in at a price, around £600 for a SRAM Access one, but people believe the speed and the range of adjustment to be way superior. Then there are hydraulic versions, which means it uses hydraulic oil to activate it. The hose is going to run from your handlebar down to the seat post base. Now these need bleed-in from time to time to operate correctly. Price-wise, a seat post such as the popular RockShox Reverb will set you back around £300 to £400. You can also get cable-activated dropper seat posts. Now these are going to be activated from a simple gear cable that runs from the lever down to the base of the seat post. Now these can require a little bit more maintenance from things such as cable stretch and grime entering that cable over their hydraulic brothers. But the great thing about these is going to be the price. Now the post that we use here on EMBN is a Crank Brothers Highline 7, and that is going to come in at around £300. And there's lots of different options when it comes to prices, but it's going to be your cheapest way of getting a dropper seat post on your bike. There's also a couple of things that you need to consider when it comes to buying your dropper seat post. First up, you need to look at the cable routing that your bike has. Now a lot of the modern e-bikes will have internal cable routing, meaning that cable is going to go inside your frame and connect to the base of the seat post. Now the other option is going to be external cable routing, meaning that the cable runs outside of your frame and connects externally to the seat post. So that is something you definitely need to consider to make sure you're buying the right one. Either of those seat posts won't be compatible if you put them in the wrong places. And lastly is going to be the drop of the seat itself. Lots of different options here, from 100mm all the way up to a staggering 200mm long seat post. So just make sure you're buying the right one that's going to suit your rider height. The simple answer is yes, you do. Now if you're into riding your proper off-road trails, using that dropper is going to enable you to get all over your bike into the correct position for the type of terrain you're going to be tackling. Or even if you're riding smooth gravel paths or fire roads, just cruising along nice and easy, a dropper seat post will definitely have its uses. Say for instance, you pull up at the cafe and you want to swing your leg off your bike to go get your bacon sarnie, it's all easy. Or say for instance, you roll up to a road junction and there's cars coming, drop that seat post, it's just going to enable you to have that little bit more control over your bike. Running a dropper seat post will enable you to do the following. You'll find your sweet spot for easy riding on gravel tracks. Lower your seat at junctions, making it safer to touch the ground. On technical terrain, you'll be able to drop the post so you have more room to move around the bike without restriction from a high saddle. On climbs, you'll be able to raise and lower the seat to allow you to get the best traction. Too much weight high and rearwards means your front wheel in the air on steep technical climbs. Getting it down nice and low means a low centre of gravity and a lot of weight on the rear tyre. It's great to have that range of movement to suit the climb that you are tackling. But if you're riding technical off-road terrain or maybe a big day out in the mountains, a dropper seat post is an essential piece of kit when it comes to tackling jumps, drops, berms or steep chutes. Let's take a look at a few examples. Jumps. If you're hitting jumps and drops, you need to have the movement beneath your bum to preload and absorb takeoffs and landings with that lower seat. If you're hitting these with a high seat, it will cause all sorts of problems and you're going to feel very out of control because the seat will be hitting you in your butt and not allowing you the full range of movement that's required. Descents and chutes will also require a low seat to allow you to get behind the saddle and get your weight into the right position. If you're tackling a steep chute with a high saddle, it's pretty much impossible because the seat will refrain you from getting into the right position, and it will act as a catapult if it's to hit you on the descent. Climbing on an e-bike requires movement all over the bike, so having a saddle that can get out of the way in an instant is definitely going to help you out on those tougher climbs. Remember, you can still climb with great effect on an e-bike by having your seat slammed. Now the reason for this is that it gets the weight down low and provides grip to the rear wheel without the feeling of looping out off the back of the bike. Flow. When it comes to flowing through trails, you will be able to ride way more efficiently with a dropper. You will learn to drop and raise the post to suit the trail, much like anticipating the gear or power mode you need to be in to tackle a climb. And finally, it's not just about the riding, it's going to enable you to get on and off your bike that little bit easier. It's also going to help you when it comes to transporting your bike, being able to get that seat down nice and low at the press of a lever. So do you need a dropper? Yes, you definitely do. It's going to enhance your riding and make things way easier. So the dropper seat post, well, it's definitely revolutionised the way that we ride, and I think it's an integral part of the mountain bike. Let us know what you think down in the comments box down below. Give us a thumbs up if you've enjoyed today's video. Make sure you subscribe to us here on EMBN and give us a find and a follow on your favourite social media too. Cheers for watching.